Well, hello everyone. Jennifer Polk here. So excited that you joined us tonight. Dr. Shaun and I just got back from an amazing weekend and we learned all about these incredible 7 habits of highly effective people. When I when I found out about this training and you had to apply and you had to be accepted and all of that. You have to be an executive, but I was like, huh, I have read that. I read that book years ago. Well, lo and behold, I had 3 copies of it. I must have really liked it back in the days in my 20s. I'm now proudly 58, coming on 59. I cannot believe that all of us that are in Life Vantage were like, yeah, I like telling people my age, right? People never believe us. So, a little bit about who I am, and then I'm going to I get to introduce Dr. Shaun. So, my name is Jennifer Polk, as I said. I might have a background in social services. I love people. I've always loved people. I was the chatty Cathy. I was the one that got in trouble in high school and, well, actually, elementary school. I was a cheerleader. I did all of those crazy things. I'm an extreme extrovert and I got married to at the love of my life. And fortunately went through years of infertility. And then when our son was 3, he got diagnosed with ALS and he was given 2 to 5 years to live. It was very, very heartbreaking at that time. And that was 20, what are we, 2026? That was 25 years ago. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. And fortunately and unfortunately, fortunately, we found out about LifeVantage products early on. And now Duke University is doing their 3rd study reversing ALS with these products. So that's a whole nother story in its own. About 8 years ago, we divorced amicably, and 4.5 years ago, God brought this amazing man into my life. He was a widower, and we just got married last year. And I cannot thank God enough for LifeVantage, the business of LifeVantage, because the products, of course, 100% for myself and my family, my ex-husband, my son, my now husband, but also the leveraged income. It has given me choices. I have met the most incredible people, the community. Oh my gosh, incredible, incredible. So, tonight, Dr. Shaun and I are going to be presenting habit number 1 of the 7 habits of highly effective people. But I am going to read her bio because it is so extensive and I do not want to miss anything. And I just am like, oh my gosh. Okay, so hold on one second. Let me get this back up here. I started talking and I hit the wrong thing. And oh, whoa, sorry. I'm like, I apologize. There we go. Okay, so Dr. Shaun, oh my goodness gracious. I remember meeting you years ago and I was like, oh my goodness gracious. And I just found out that you and Dr. Debbie Zito were at high school together. I did not know that. That's what I love. So she is a board certified neuroradiologist, U.S. Air Force veteran, founder of the Vitality MD. She's a lifelong endurance athlete with decades of marathon, ultra marathon, and Ironman triathlon medals to her credit. Oh my gosh. She's learned firsthand that lasting energy isn't about doing more, it's about activating the pathways your body already has through scientifically proven strategies that talk to your genes, right? We all know about that. Amen. And then after shifting from diagnosing why patients or why the patients she cared for weren't getting the help that she wanted them to get, to helping the people she cares about actually becoming well through the science of activation. She has been married for 36 years to her husband, John. and he is a gastroenterologist, and together they are proud parents of two amazing sons that are both in law school. Oh my gosh. And she's a dog mom. Love that. Four zany doodles, four of them, and of all sizes. So without further ado, Dr. Shaun, I would love for you to tell a little bit more about your story, and then we'll get into habit
Yes.
number one.
Yes, and I'll make it really quick because this training is going to be so valuable for everyone on here. But basically, LifeVantage found me. I was exhausted. I was 45 and I felt like I was 55 or 60. This was 14 years ago, and luckily my doctor shared with me. She said that, she put me on all these supplements. I was taking them, for 6 months, and I didn't feel any better. And I go to see her for my follow up, and she's like, "How you doing?" I said, "I hate taking that many supplements." And she says, "Well, there's one thing that's clinically proven to get to the root cause of everything that's going wrong with your body." And I said, "Sign me up. Why didn't you tell me about that before? I'm taking that for the rest of my life." And she's like, "Well, I don't sell it because it's sold through a network. Yada yada yada." I said, "That's okay." So I signed myself up. And luckily, the person that I worked with knew the person that told my doctor about it. So it ended up that I kind of came around like this to be in the same line of people. And I have Jill and Gabe Pearson as my upline in LifeVantage, and they're just wonderful. So yeah, I can't wait to dive into this training on the 7 habits. I too went through this training in years ago, 20 years ago with the Air Force. And I kind of went through it begrudgingly, like, I don't need this. I'm already successful. I'm blah, blah, blah. You know, so I'm needless to say, I am coming to the training with an entirely different attitude now. And I was so excited to be there. I was just pumped up the entire weekend, such high energy, such focus, such clarity, such vision, such just love for LifeVantage and our family. And I'm so glad that we went. So if you get a chance to go, do go. So Jennifer,
Do
take.
it. Yes. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to share. I worked on the slide deck, and hold on. Let me present. Here we go. Oh, see, it's going to start from the back. I was going through, making sure everything was okay. See you guys. Okay. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited you're here tonight. And it all is based on that Stephen R. Covey system, the 7 habits of highly effective people. And this first one is all about being proactive. And I think, Shaun, you were going to talk about, um, well, the, how the paradigm, right?
Oh yeah, I
Yes.
love it. It's actually this. They taught this before we even got to habit one, and it really resonated with me. First of all, they asked us to list some things, which statements resonated with you, and you guys go ahead and listen to these and maybe mark down whichever ones resonate with you. I know I'm capable of something great. I want to shape my future. There's so much to do, there's never enough time. People around me seem so much more successful and happier than I do. I want to build more meaningful relationships. I'm stuck doing things the old way. I'd like to live a balanced and healthy life. So I checked. I know I'm capable of something great. I want to shape my future and I want to build more meaningful relationships. I feel like I have a balanced and healthy life already. And the title of the book is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And you got to start off by asking what exactly is effectiveness. And it's getting the results that you want today in a way that allows you to get even better results in the future. And when you start to incorporate these 7 habits, you will become profoundly more effective getting the results that you want in a way that helps you get even better results in the future and doing the things that matter most to you in your work and personal life. Now, that statement that Jennifer was prompting me is the paradigm. We all go through, I have 2 pairs of glasses on. This is a perfect analogy for what I'm about to say. We do not care. We all go through life wearing a pair of glasses that shape how we view the world, right? We wear these glasses, you don't even realize you've got them on. I didn't even realize I had 2 pair of glasses on. And the thing is that these glasses are so
So,
we
well, he
forget that we
said
have.
like he slipped into a coma, right? So he,
Oh no,
Oh, that's not good.
terrible.
Oh,
Um, we forget that we're wearing these glasses, but the fact is we tend to think that we're looking at the world the way it is, that our view of things is objective, but the truth is we see the world not as it is, but as we are. And that is our paradigm. So we need to know that.
Yes. Thank you. Ooh, okay. So, habit number 1 is about being proactive. This is all about the principle of choice, and it's about responding intentionally and focusing on what we can influence so we can shape the future that we want. I love Stephen Covey's quote here. Many people wait for something to happen or someone to take care of them, but proactive people are solutions to problems, not problems themselves. I that this quote really made me think. I'm like, hmm, am I, and I can go back many times in my life where I was the problem. I was like, I was asking people for all the help all the time. And I was like, or I was waiting for some, how many of us, like, if you're a woman or like, you're waiting for that prince, that knight in shining armor to come save you. Nobody's going to save us. Nobody's saving us, right? We are here to save ourselves. So, yes, this one really, really hit home for me. We have the principle of choice. Okay. I don't know why this is not there. We go. Okay. So, we have 4 unique human gifts. I think this was mine, right? That we talked about, or it was, I can't remember when,
Yep.
what's, yes. Okay. So, we're not animals or plants. We have very unique abilities to observe and consider what actions we want to take. At first, we have that first response, but if we take the time to pause, we can use these gifts to make us have better informed decisions, right? And there's these 4 things that we have, these gifts that we have. The first one is self awareness. So if you think about self awareness, what am I thinking of right in this moment? And sometimes, it's like, oh, you know, I, I'm not, I'm not failing. I'm just tired, right? You could be saying that. Or, um, I'm very confused. You can feel that, right? I'm frustrated, but instead of spiraling in that self-criticism, you can stop it, right? We can stop this. And self-awareness helps me separate the facts from my feelings. That's the biggest part of self-awareness. And then there's imagination. What are the possible ways that I can respond? I could push back, I could shut down, right? Or I can keep being curious. Huh, I wonder, I wonder what? I wonder if, I wonder, right? So imagination gives us the options instead of different reactions. And then we have our conscience. What is the right response for this moment? Does this align for me? Does this align what God really wants me to do? Is this what my calling is? Sometimes I'd like to say things to people that I know I shouldn't. Anybody else been there? Or just me? Okay, one person I see Belinda. Okay. But I know my conscience keeps, when I think about it, something I go back to a lot with my conscience, because both of my parents have passed 16 years ago. I'm like, with and what I'm gonna say or do, is that gonna make my parents happy? I'm like, So that's what keeps me, like, on the straight and narrow a lot of times. And then finally is willpower. How will I follow through on that choice? So sometimes, we know we're self-aware how we want to, say something, but then we imagine, okay, this could happen, this could happen. What are my possibilities? That conscience comes in, and then the willpower. Am I going to have the willpower to go ahead and not eat that, or to say those right things that I should say to be a better person, maybe set routines or habits of what I'm going to do. That's what all of these human gifts are. Okay. So, next.
All right. So this really resonated with me because we are inundated right now in our world with all the troubles of the entire world. Like we're not, it's not sufficient for us to be concerned about the problems in our household, the problems in our neighborhood, the problems in our city, our state. We're hearing constant problems that we really can't do anything about from all over the world. So the circle of concern is things that, gosh, I hate that this is happening, but it's everything we worry about, we think about, we talk about. And if we spend a lot of time in this area, we are basically just, we're we're wasting our energy on things we really can't control. We worry about it, but we can't influence it. And the more time you spend here, the more your overall influence actually decreases because we're spending the time and energy on things we can't control. So the goal is to increase the circle of influence, that inner white circle. These are things you can directly control. It's empowering to expand this. It's proactive to expand this. When you do increase your influence, the circle of your influence, you're going to find new opportunities to make new choices, and base these choices on how you want your life to work. So these are things you have control over. So think about it. You can't do everything, but that doesn't mean you can't do anything. So think about what you can do today within your circle of influence to move you forward in your business, in your family relationships, in your town relationships, things that are within your control. So you can jot down a list of anything, really big or small, that you can do that increases your influence over a situation that you're in. Like, think about what you're putting off. Who can you call on for help? Where can you look for ideas or inspiration? And where do you need to invest the time, attention, and energy to get things going down the way that you want it to go? What else is possible? So this is really, really important. Stay out as much as possible of your areas that you're concerned about, that you can't do anything about, and grow your circle of influence.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Okay, I don't know. There we go. Okay. Next is reactive versus proactive language. So we can choose what we say. I know sometimes we don't feel like we can, but we can. And what we choose to say really does affect how we think. And choosing more proactive language, it reflects and it reinforces a proactive approach on life. Absolutely. So, reactive language may be something like, it's not my fault. I have to do this. We have no other choice. We have to, right? They won't let me. There's nothing we can do about it, or I can't. Versus proactive language, I take responsibility for that, right? I choose to do this or that. Let's look at all the options. I will get this done. There must be something we can do, right? And or I may not be able to do blank, but I can do blank. And while we were there, I wrote down a few other ones that were specific to LifeVantage. I may not be able to get your money back, but we can call the company together and see what we could do. I may not be able to call people for you, but we can call people. We can do this together and I can coach you on what to say to whoever you're talking to. I may not be able to control my team's activities, but I can be a great example. So those were things. So just keep those creative juices, that imagination flowing. And remember, we want to, what Shaun just said, we want to expand our circle of influence and lessen our circle of concern because we do not have control over the circle of concern. We only have control over those that we influence that makes it bigger. Okay. And I think there we go. Yeah, I think I missed that for yes, the practices. Go ahead, Shaun. Go ahead. We might have to go back. I apologize.
The practice. Well, so
Yeah.
basically, it's all about choosing your reaction. You don't really do pause and think about what you could say in a situation or do in a situation that would be helpful rather than just, reacting emotionally or unhelpfully. You want to use that language. I love, love, love. I may not be able to, but I can. And I wrote down I may not be able to grow to 50,000 followers on Instagram, but I can work to grow 1,000 followers. And then I can keep working and grow that to 2,000 and then 5,000. This is just what I can do. And how do I do that? Well, I may not be able to post, 100 reels that go viral, but I can post 5 days in a row and see what happens. And I can engage with the people that comment on those 5 reels, and I can put them out as trial reels to try to grow my audience. These are things, you just focus on what you can do. And, what people have done that have been successful before you. So think about things that they've done that maybe you can do that maybe you haven't been doing. So these small shifts in how you think really can make big differences, especially when you stack them on top of the next 6 habits.
Yes. So I love the part when we see that's our paradigm, that we have a choice, then we do the practices and we can pause and respond. We can focus on our circle of influence and then use that proactive language. Then we get the results, which is increased influence, ownership of our life, and I spelled that, and a greater initiative. So
Yeah.
I
And Jennifer, I wrote down on the see, do, get. I really love this because he starts with a paradigm. See, how do you see the world? Well, he started with, well, I had a paradigm. This is Tom, our teacher. I had a
Mhm.
paradigm, and I've had the same paradigm. If I want to get it done, if I want it done right, I have to do it myself. Okay, and that paradigm, if I see things that way, my practice is I have to do all the work, right? And what do I get? I work late. I'm exhausted. I'm grumpy. I'm crotchety. My husband's mad at me because I'm never home, right? Well, what if we start with a different paradigm, which maybe we'll try to get the best results? We need to work together. Okay. Well, what do we get with that paradigm? We work together. I'm sorry. What do we do with that paradigm? We work together. We do the work together. And then what do we get? We get better outcomes. So the see, how you see things affects how you do, and then that affects what results you get.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to stop sharing. Awesome. Thank you so much, Shaun. Anyone have any questions or thanks, Mike? Any takeaways from it? You guys are so
I like
quiet.
the examples that you put out, um, in both of you in the different slides towards the end. And you put some in there that could really relate to our business. And I think that's really helpful.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. The
No,
first
thank you.
the first 2 or 3 habits are all about you, like I, right? The last 3 habits are about the collective, the we. You start out when you start out in the world, you're dependent. You're dependent on someone else to do it for you, to show you how to do it. So that's a you. And then you become independent. That's I, right? Taking responsibility, being proactive. And as we go along, you'll see it starts to shift to we. And that's what I love about Life Vantage is we are a collective we. We are all heart-centered. We are all, mission focused. Our mission is to help people live their best lives, right? In every way. And boy, when we work together, when people of like mind work together, especially with God blessing the business like he is in this business for sure, anything is possible.
Anything. I love that. Yeah.
Well, and also in one of the slides, you have the circle of influence and you talk about the circle of concern. In the book that we're reading right now, in that chapter right now, he talks about, worry and how we can shift that worry to not focus so much on the worry and bring that into our bodies, which causes a lot of toxicity, but And so I really see a parallel here.
Yes, right. Dis-ease. We're reading The Big Leap. We're doing a book club on The Big Leap. It
Yeah.
is, right? Our upper limiting beliefs. But
Mhm.
this goes along with it so well.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
thank you, ladies.
Thanks, Martina.
Mhm.
Anyone else? Mia said, when we become those problem solver, everyone is blessed. The positive perspective increases that circle of influence. Yes, when we get, yep, when we become our own problem solvers, right? Yes, absolutely. We bless more.
Yeah.
Susan.
And yeah, thanks. I really appreciate the choosing part because I had an experience today when I could see that now I can see it. I couldn't see it at that moment, but that I was really choosing to be, I hate to say it out loud, but I really think now that I look back that I was really being a victim about it. Like my brain just took over with, I should have said this, I shouldn't have said that, all that, all that stuff. So the choosing, I think for me is really important. So I appreciated that.
Thank you. Ooh, I love that. Yes, right? Oh, I've definitely fallen into that victim role in certain times in my life. I'm like, not doing that. And then I still do, we still are very human, right? Absolutely. Thanks, Susan. And I love your glasses. Those are fun. Anyone else? Got 3 more minutes if we.
I have a question and I feel funny asking for it because this word has been, I've read this book before, but I've had a hard time understanding the word paradigm. Par, I don't know,
Paradigm.
paradigm. I
No,
don't,
no.
if, and I'm just wondering if you could like help provide you know, a clearer
I can
definition
tell
of
you a
what that
story.
means.
I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you a story. The story is there is a man who's riding the bus and he's had a long day at work and he's just exhausted. And the bus stops and this family gets on. It's a dad and three kids. And the kids are just running around, just screaming, throwing their toys, snot running out of their noses. They're kind of like touching people. They're not offering any personal space. And the dad is doing nothing about it. So the gentleman that's on the bus and he's exhausted, he's so irritated, this dad, and he's ready to just say, why are you not watching your kids? And so he boils over. He says, what is wrong with you? Your children are being cretins. They're just horrible. And the guy says, oh, I'm so sorry. We just came back from the hospital and their mother just passed away and I just don't know what to do. So the paradigm is putting yourself in someone else's position or looking at it from a different way. It's like it's the way you see the world. And like whenever I'm driving in traffic and somebody runs around me, and I used to go, that's so, you know, but now I go, maybe they really need to get somewhere. Maybe they're really late, or maybe their wife's having a baby. That's the paradigm. You just kind of shift it to open up.
Love.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Now that it's more clear now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And here's what the book says about what a paradigm is. They're mental maps we use to interpret the world. They're like a pair of glasses, that's what Shaun was saying, that affect how we see things. But these glasses often so familiar to us are so familiar that we forget that we're even wearing them, just like Shaun said. Like she had two pairs on and didn't even know, right? And so, each of us tend to think we see things as they are, that we're objective, but that's not the case. We see the world as it is, but as not what it is, but as we are. So I think I will leave you all on that little note. That was a great question, Mike. Thank you.
Well,
I always
thank
Thank
tell
you.
you for
people
asking
if
that
you
question.
had that question, somebody else had that question. Absolutely. So never ever feel. I was very blessed to have some really good teachers in my early years that said that there's no stupid questions. And so when people make fun of me, I'm like, well, my kindergarten teacher said there's no stupid questions, so I'm going to ask. So thank you, everyone. Next week, we'll be covering habit 2. Start with the end in mind. I hope you come back and I hope you invite more people. I don't know who's going to be teaching necessarily with me. Like I've asked everyone. So have a great week. We have those new products, Axio X and Phytopower B, that just came out today. I'm so excited. So excited. So thanks, everyone. Have a
Thank
beautiful
you.
evening.
Thank you.
I will get this
Bye.
recording out as well.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Shaun.
Thank
Shaun.
you,
Thank you
Jen.
for your
Thank you.
service.
Oh, thank you. Bye.